Here it is, the Vanish holster, the world's most comfortable holster. One thing to know is you don't need a belt with the Vanish holster because it's got one built in. So go ahead and wear this in your business suit, a bathing suit.
I'm here. Hold on. 3, 2, me. There I am. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hey, good to see you. Welcome to the show. How's it going? Good afternoon, good day, good evening. Yeah, it has been a long day. I was on Steph's show earlier this morning. I'm sorry if you missed it. And then Philip Ittner came on for an hour. That's posted, and you can watch that to kind of catch us up on what we might have missed yesterday. We're on the cusp of the what's called the Spring Offensive, which is often what I call my change in wardrobe over there, and it's about to become a kind of an enormous thing. My mic is on, all's well. I'm now paranoidly? Is that a word? The paranoidly. It is now, fuck it. I'm now paranoid about my mic status, so I'm going to need to have a bulb up here that just says, whenever, I've just figured it out, like I had a brainwave. So I get a hue light that I'll put over there, and the same button that mutes the microphone and unmutes the microphone will turn that light on and off. Huh? Come on. I can't believe it took me this long to think it. I'm slipping. I think it's all the Marjorie Taylor Greene I've been watching. It's numbing my brain. Like I can't think. Anyways, so hi. Welcome. Good to see you. What's up? Gather in, like, subscribe, thumbs up, patreon.com/HousePark. Subscribe to the show. We're almost at 50K. We're the fastest growing show on. We're a grower, not a shower. And speaking of growers, not showers, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to our chat room, who are lovely. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'll stretch you guys out a little bit so we can see you. Fantastic. Absolutely. Tits out, that's how you are? That's great. It's a good way to be. Apparently, there's a whole big, like, bra burning thing going on right now. That we're entering phase, I don't know what fucking phase it is, of, like, no more bras in the world. Cool. You know, I've been both for and against bras in the past. Either way, Crowder rocks. Oh, just wait. Does Hal see the Facebook chat? Yes, it says, dies Hal see the Facebook chat? No, I don't. Dies I not? No, I do. I dies not. There you go. Boobies wet? That's right. I only have one good bra. Yeah, you and me, sister. It really isn't your decision. You don't think so? I mean, I don't think it would be my decision. Of course not. It'd be a suggestion at best. You know. Where's the fun in insisting? You know what I mean? It's no fun unless it's their idea, right? You're the first YouTube channel I've clicked the bell for, first and all. Aw, Armor Equal. Thank you so much. And I don't even recommend it. I would rather you just come and visit on, of your own free will. That's the lovely thing about you. Cans. That's how most of us think of it. What? All right. Here we go. Yes. Now we're going to get into a big bra conversation, and it's completely unnecessary. If I may, before we do, reminding everyone to give a thumbs up to the show, at some point along the way. You don't have to do it right away. You don't. And by the way, can I just for a moment, I have to admit a certain level of trepidation and fear about tonight's show. Not that I'm worried at all, but just that I'm mildly skeeved out. Right out of the gate. I don't know if this is like the Real Housewives of Mar-a-Lago or what. Bleh. It's just, I could feel the anger and the like I could smell the spray tan and the eyebrow tattooing from here. It's just, anyways. This is Miranda Con, Dr. Gina Loudon. I'm gonna call her the loud one. I suppose. This is Trump is speaking in Manchester, New Hampshire. Meanwhile, they're doing this, I guess, comfortably from Oceanside, Nicaragua, wherever the hell they're doing this show from. Who gives a shit? We got a lot to cover today. There's a lot of Tucker responses, obviously. My favorite one, I think, because I'm trying to only cover the people we haven't covered already, although some people are like, this is all they want to talk about all the time, is check out this dickhead. Somebody's trying to win on personality. This is this the face that Ben makes when his wife tells him to go to the store and buy some wood, and he thinks she means Home Depot? Oh my God. And then, of course, Sagar's being gross. And this is really weird. We got some righty-on-righty crime happening. Steven Crowder, home video or some shit. And Candace Owens is mad. They hate each other. This is all back and forth between the Daily Wire and Crowder that's just gotten uglier and uglier. And I think it's fucking hilarious. And who cares? We'll dip into it. But the nice thing about it is we don't even have to watch the whole thing. Nobody has to give a shit. She did 16. Look at this fucking thing. Hold on. The title of this one is Steven Crowder is a monster. Changed my mind. Yeah, no bother. Look how much time she fucking spent on this. She spent all of 6 minutes on Tucker Carlson being fired from Fox News while he was the #1 show on the network. She's spending 16 minutes on here attacking fucking Steven Crowder. Oh, it's glorious. I swear to God, we're going to be, I think it's a psyop. I think they're trying to lull us into a false sense of security into election season. And then, of course, Dinesh finally has come around to having an opinion on the Tucker thing. And Judge Janine I'm not even going to tell you what this one's about, but you could tell she's upset, and so you know it's going to be fucking stupid. Speaking of fucking stupid, and I don't just mean the guy Brian who hosts on RSBN, who is apparently fucking stupid. This being stupid. Stupid, yeah. But this, the Trump's giving a speech in New Hampshire, and then this dude is from RAV is introducing him, and then they all talk him on, and then he comes in at one point. Here he comes. Okay, so we'll back up a little bit. There's going to be a lot of it's great to be here in front of a bunch of patriots in New Hampshire, and then we're gonna have to maybe we'll get lucky and these dickheads will actually mute the Lee Greenwood song so we don't have to. I'm going to dip out of this when he gets extra boring, go to the other videos and come back. It's going to be a tag team day because if I can say one thing before we begin, one other thing, because I've said a bunch of things before we begin, although haven't we begun? We've only just begun. If I can't say, God damn, these people are boring. Trump is boring. Tucker's boring. Everybody whining about Tucker is boring. It's fucking boring. They're really, and it's great. It's fantastic just watching these assholes struggle desperately to not be boring and fail so miserably. Shit, they're boring. And I just prepare to be wonderfully bored with this useless dickhead who used to have giant rallies, and now he's just doing a multi-campaign event at in New Hampshire for a half-filled room. Oh, it's so good.
Was that story about that young man? I love the president today makes his way.
God, shut the fuck up. Like, yeah, but oh shit, old school. Look at this. There's a CAG hat. This person's really selling it. A CAG hat. That's Keep America Great. It's apparently, which would, by the way, officially be a Biden hat right now.
Well, thank you very much. What a group this is.
Oh, hey, the group this is. It's such a big group. The room is so big, my voice is late to the party. There's a delay on his mouth to his voice. This is going to get really fucking annoying really quick. Too late.
And we want to thank the fire marshals because they had a lot of work to do to get this crowd. We got a lot of people outside, thousands, and
there's always more people waiting to get into Club Mar-a-Lago than there is on the inside. There's so many people wanted to be here. Like, if you wanted to be here, you don't even come to my rallies because you'll never get in.
This is
meanwhile,
really great. We're very, very honored to be here in Manchester, a place that I've gotten to know very well.
I know this place very good. It's named after a man named Chester. I think he's a molester, friend of Jeffrey Epstein's, friend of mine.
Oh, the political trail and love, and in particular to be in the great state of New Hampshire.
The great state of New Hampshire. Yeah, really pushing it hard. I'm glad they put the great state of New Hampshire in there. Shit, he's loud. Hold on, sorry. God damn.
As I promised you, and as you know from the beginning, I fought to protect and defend New Hampshire's beloved first in the nation primary, and you got it. You got it.
You got it. I did the thing. So here I am kissing your ass again because I set up this thing where I had to kiss your ass because the only other option was to move it to a state that was never going to fucking vote for me. So fuck it. All right, here I am kissing your ass again.
And next year, we're going to make history together when we win New Hampshire primary for the third straight time.
He's shooting high.
We've had a lot of success here. Today, I'm deeply honored to receive the endorsement
It's always my goal to win the primary but lose the state.
Of more than 50 New Hampshire state legislators, many of whom...
Is it the microphone, or is he just does he keep saying "sate"?
Are on stage with us, and some of whom are in the audience because I think structurally maybe the stage couldn't take it.
Yeah, my fat ass.
But I just want to
Structurally, the state is. Oh God.
introduce them if I could quickly. They're great people. They went out. I bear Harry Claudine, Deborah DeSimone, Keith Erf.
Oh, there's just a joy to watch him try to pronounce people's names that he's never even bothered to fucking read while just announcing them as his best friends in the whole. What the fuck was that? I made it. Hold on. I have to.
Cole, Deborah DeSimone, Ron Dunn.
Dunn is very hard. Over. John Ogre. Over. Larry Unger. Over. Unger. Dunn.
Tracy Emmerich. Thank you, Tracy. Keith Erf.
He just goes by the initial, I guess. Erf. He might even be pronouncing it, listen to me, pronouncing it perfectly. And still it sounds fucking ridiculous. Erf. It's pronounced Erf.
Larry Gagne. Ted Gorski. Gerald Griffin.
And I'm just in the G's. They're in fucking alphabetical order.
Tina Harley. Ted Gorski.
Hold on.
Erf. Dunn.
I gotta do the Erf again.
Tracy Emmerich. Thank you, Tracy. Keith Erf.
No idea. Fucking no idea. Keith Erf. Like, just. Sorry. All right, we're going.
Griffin. Gregory Hill. Thank you, Gregory. Stephen Kennedy.
He's thanking Gregory for having an easy last name. Hill is after Erf. After Erf. Saying Hill is easy. Bend over.
Abul Khan.
Why do these names sound like they fucking hurt?
John Levitt.
Does he have a bet with somebody on stage left that he's not going to be able to pronounce certain names? Or that they said it's Levin and he went, it's Levin. And they said, no, it's Levin. He's standing right here. And they're like, fuck him. It's Levin. All right. And then he goes up and mispronounces their name on purpose and then just looks at him like a dickhead.
Nikki McCarter. Valerie McDonald.
He is. He's just reading. Fuck me. You know, it'd be really hilarious if somebody put the names of everyone in the audience in there, like the ticket list. And somebody loaded the ticket list into his teleprompter, and he doesn't realize till he's like in the queues. Yeah, he meant to thank people, and it turns out he's just reading attendance. Oh, shit. Because I wouldn't rule it out at this point. Oh my God. It's just basically everybody that's on the steering committee, which is everybody in the fucking, in New Hampshire in the Republican Party. You can actually read off the list of New Hampshire Republicans in under 10 minutes. So he's just going to do it like it's a fucking contest. Oh my God.
Charles Melvin.
Sorry. At this point, every fucking name is going to be hilarious to me. It's no way. There's no
Dane
way.
Nagel. Thank you, Dan. Christine Perez. Joseph Petre.
Joseph what? Oh. Oh, I don't know what's funnier. Him having to read all these fucking names of people he obviously has no idea who the fuck they are, or the fact that he just said Joseph Petre and he just hammered the P. Oh God, this is gonna kill me.
Tom Plausage.
Get the fuck out of here! There is no fucking way. Oh God, what the fuck is Plausage? It's Petri was the name of the name before. The fucking hell! Oh God! Oh God! This is fucking impossible. I'm never gonna get, we're not even gonna get through the fucking names in this thing. What the fuck is plasma? This is just so good. Back up.
Joseph Petre. Tom Plausage.
Oh my God. Oh, this is just, I mean, oh God, I'm so worried. We're in the fucking peas. I'm gonna, okay, breathe. Shit, I'm gonna vapor lock. Oh, what the fuck?
John Pudisic.
Shut the fuck up! I can't do it. We're gonna have to call off the show today. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. What? This is not possible. This is just... Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, God. Phew. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, this is... Oh, shit. Here we go. I'm afraid to push the fucking button. Look at his face, too. Like, he's like, oh, God, these are painful. Yeah!
Kevin Pratt. Arlene Quartiello.
All right, standard crap pronunciation. I could recover from that. And please don't let there be more than one Q name. He's just looking. Did I say that right? What the fuck was that? Are they? Does he think everyone with a difficult to pronounce name is hiding backstage?
Andrew Renzolo. Jennifer Rhodes. Terry Roy. John Sellers. Thank you, John.
Thank you for having an easy name to say.
Vanessa Sheehan. Lisa Smart. Look, these are endorsements. How good is this?
Oh my God. This is why he's reading the list, because apparently these are all the locals in the party that endorsed him. So he has to say them all, because that's the price of the endorsement, is he says their name out loud from the fucking podium. I had no idea how pathetic this was until just this very moment. That's fucking amazing.
Lisa Smart. Thank you. These are endorsements. James Spillane.
Or Spillane, sure.
Jonathan Stone. James Summers. Jeffrey Tenzar. Paul Terry. Dick Thaxton.
I'm okay.
Jordan Urlili.
My what? Like, I love when some of the names he's like, fuck me, this is bad. And he does his little hand flail to let you know he has no, quite yellow is the name, yeah.
Paul Terry.
Watch his hands right at, he
Dick
says the...
Thaxton. Jordan Urlili. Jordan, thank you.
Jordan, you're Lily.
Lily Walsh.
Walsh? You mean Walsh?
Kenneth Weiler. Robert Wary. And Clayton Wood.
Oh, he's pissed he had to read that whole list. That's hilarious.
And somebody said, do you think I should introduce them? It's 51. Should I do? I said, you know what? They were out there at the front. Many of them were here from the beginning. I said, I'll take the time. You know, I'm not sure if television's too thrilled. Look at all these people. I don't know if television's thrilled, but we're thrilled, right? We're thrilled.
He's bitching at his staff that it's boring that he has to read these assholes' names, but they won't endorse him unless they get a name check. It's like fucking Instagram influencers. Yeah, it was money for a shout out. These are paid shout outs. Abso-fucking-lutely.
I also want to introduce Bruce Breton and Lou Gargiolo, who have...
I'm not going to take a drink while he's still doing names.
Thrilled, right?
Your wee-wee was that guy's name?
Thrilled. I also want to introduce Bruce Breton and Lou Gargiolo, who have been with us for a long time, right from
so I've been with us for a long time.
the beginning. Thank you both. Right from the beginning. Thank you.
And you'd think if they were there from the beginning, you would have fucking memorized their name 7 years later, you asshole.
Thank you. And I want to thank President of the New Hampshire Federation of College Republicans, Harrison Spalthorf.
There is no fucking way that's right on.
Thank you. And I want to thank President of the New Hampshire Federation of College Republicans, Harrison Spalthorf. Harrison, where...
There's no fucking way that I don't know what the fuck that was. Spalthorf. Spout off? Jesus Christ.
You may be. Thank you, Harrison. New Hampshire Federation of Republican Women President Elizabeth Girard. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. The founder of the 603 Alliance, Fran Windolbo.
Wind elbow? Oh, God.
And also my New Hampshire senior advisor who's been with me for a long time.
Okay, you can't say been with you for a long time and then egg the fucking name. And secondly, anybody that's been with you for a long time on a state level, I'm shocked they haven't been busted for child porn at this point. But we'll find out. Who is this person?
Steve Stepanek. Thank you very much, sir. Great job. Great job from day one. My state director, Trevor Nuclearly.
They can't even. Fucking hell. He has no idea. He has no idea. Window bow and nuke ukulele. It's like he's reading off people's Twitter handles.
Trevor, thank you very much. As well as somebody who really did a great job, ran for office, did very well, Caroline Levitt. Thank you. Did a great job. And a very good friend of mine is here today, and he lives here, and he loves this state very much, and he was the first person that was with me. He said, you'll do it. It was a long time ago, in 2015, maybe before that, but he's been a friend of mine for a long time, loves this state, and he's a political pro. Corey Lewandowski. Where is he? Where is he?
He worked for you. What the fuck are you talking about? You got bounced from your campaign for manhandling a female reporter, you creep.
He's such a good guy.
Oh, well, there you go. Great judge of character.
Thank you, Corey. And by the way, we will take a few questions if you want after we're finished. Is that okay?
Oh, fuck. We could just skip right to that part. Take a few questions. Because the press isn't interested. God damn.
I do that early so you can think. Otherwise, if I do it right at the end, that's the better way to do it. I'll finish and then I say, any questions? Okay, let's get out of here. Now you have a whole little time to think about it, but we'll take...
Or in the middle of your speech to go, what the fuck were you talking about when you said this?
A few questions, okay?
I have some.
You think Biden takes questions? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, all right. He does, so... Who gives a fuck what you think?
You saw yesterday he had the cue card. He said, call this one. This is what she's going to ask, and here's the answer. They never did that with me in the White House, I can tell you.
The cards, by the way, they're referencing, they're doing it all over right-wing media, have the reporter, a picture of them because they're calling on them in order. It also has what they'd asked before and a small summary of what they're working on, essentially. None of the reporters asked what was on the card, so it was not a set script at all. Just for the record.
On Tuesday, Joe Biden officially announced that he will seek 4 more disastrous years.
And he'll probably get them too. Fuck.
As you know, I've done very well against crooked Hillary Clinton.
You only lost by 3 million votes.
Today, I'm going to do this, and I think this could be maybe the most important part of what I'm going to say, because this is going to be a major announcement. Are you ready? Is that?
Oh, it's super excited. You're stepping down. You're stepping on. You're going to release your testimony at your rape trial as your first campaign ad.
I will be retiring the name Crooked from Hillary Clinton and her moniker. And I'm going to give her a new name. I don't know, like maybe Lovely Hillary or Beautiful Hillary. But I'm going to retire the name Crooked so that we can use the name for Joe Biden.
Oh, my God. It's like everything's a fucking reboot with this guy. I just like the word crooked, and everybody else is telling me that my Sleepy Joe thing doesn't work. That failed last time. So crooked Biden, and well, because crooked Clinton was a thing back when Bill was in there, and then we made it crooked Hillary's because I stole that, and now I'll use it for crooked Joe or some shit.
Because he'll be known from now on as Crooked Joe Biden.
Fuck. What? Whoop. I mean, the guy is a master media manipulator. I think we could all take notes. What? No, yeah. I'm sorry. The chat room. I thought it was, but the chat room is saying dull as fuck, boring, stupid. All right. Well, you know, I try not to fly in the face of public opinion.
You would think that Hillary would be very happy today.
She is. I think after you lost, she just got really happy and has stayed that way.
I think she's out there someplace celebrating. Because
she's out there someplace celebrate. Singular. Hashtag the best words.
There's never been anyone in the history of American politics so crooked or dishonest as Joe Biden. And the press absolutely refuses to report it. All that press back there.
All that press back there, yes. Real America's Voice, RSBN, Newsmax, and the local Fox affiliate.
Because
boo media.
Frankly, they're just as crooked as he is, and they are. They're just as crooked. The choice in this election is...
Well, it's a team. Being crooked is a team thing. It takes a village, I think, is what Hillary would have said.
Now between strength and weakness, between success or failure, between safety or anarchy, between peace or conflict and prosperity or catastrophe. We are living in a catastrophe. With you...
Yes, you are. Your 2020 campaign was a catastrophe. Your post-presidency has been a catastrophe. Your personal life is a catastrophe. Yeah, I mean, can't argue with it.
Vote on November 5th, 2024.
Jesus Christ, he's already asking.
We're going to crush Joe Biden and the White House.
Also, the reason, by the way, he will always say, I want you to make note, he will always be pointing to this idea that he wants people to vote in November of next year because he asking to vote for him in the primary gives the illusion that he actually has challengers, which he absolutely does.
That gorgeous, beautiful White House, we have to take it back. We're going to beat him at the ballot box, and we're going to settle our unfinished business.
Settle our unfinished business.
Finished.
It's so unfinished. And Biden went and took that let's finish the job thing, and now I've got to we've got unfinished business, and then he's, either way, we're both finished at some point because we're old.
Biden announced his presidential campaign by, get this, a prepackaged video.
A prepackaged video. Yeah, he's busy being president.
I was going to do that for you today. I'll do a little video, send it up to New Hampshire.
He was.
You wouldn't have been very happy about that?
Yeah, they would have.
But when you're running for president, you think at least one time you'd get up and say, I'm running for president. Where am I going? Where the hell am I going? I want to get out. Oh, no, over there.
That, by the way, that part is, fuck, I lost to that guy. Look how mad he is. Look at the tooth grind. Every time. It just pains him so much. And they already know his polls are not at what he thinks they are. He's losing to Biden by 6 points. And already. Wait till these infrastructure packages, the infrastructure jobs get off the, off the starting line. The vast majority of them, which have just begun. Good Lord.
A prepackaged video that took supposedly 7 takes to get it right.
Supposedly. According to you. Also, we watch his multi-take bullshit that he does alone at Mar-a-Lago all the fucking time. By the way, one of the things about doing multiple takes is getting it right, as opposed to just going, nobody's watching, fuck it.
Right is what you want to call it. In it, he says he's running because Trump and MAGA pose a threat to democracy. Can you believe it?
Can you believe it? He actually thinks I'm a threat?
Got to explain.
Evil Democrats, someone just yelled.
MAGA is Make America Great Again, right? No threat there.
Yeah, sure, bud. Whatever. Yeah.
No.
I love how he gets offended on behalf of MAGA and what the words mean, as if we don't know that's what it means, but it's not what it has come to represent, is the fucking point.
It's Biden who poses the threat to democracy.
Yes, I'm rubber ball, you're glue. It's very adult.
Because he is grossly incompetent, has no idea what he's doing, and basically he doesn't have a clue, and that's a very bad position to put our country in. Our country is in a very dangerous position right now. Very, very dangerous.
Well, why is that? Do you have more classified documents you haven't told us about?
We're now in a nation, and we are a nation in serious decline, a nation that has lost.
Oh, it's serious decline now. Decline wasn't selling us, so it's got to be serious decline.
Its way. We're led by a hopeless person, but we will win in 2024 and make America great again. We can do it. It's not too late.
It's not too late to do it. I mean, obviously, if there's a nuclear war between now and then, it'll be rough. And obviously, that could happen any second now. But we've got, in case it doesn't, I can still run on it. Could have.
It's not too late.
Now a moment of silence for it's too late, buddy.
But we've got a year and a half to go. That's a long time with what's happening to our country. That's a long time still.
It's a very long time. You might even have to revamp your sales pitch between now and then. What do you think?
With such a calamitous presidency, it's almost inconceivable that Biden would have even thought of running for re-election. He's destroyed our country, and yet he says in his recorded piece that he wants to finish the job.
He says it? He says it? What did he?
It's inconceivable that Biden would have even thought of running for re-election. He's destroyed our country, and yet he says in his recorded piece that
he does. He says it. He says in his recorded piece. Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't just wing it.
He wants to finish the job. That's right. He wants to finish the job of destroying our country. But on that, he's actually very close. He is very close to finishing the job, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
One of the most important issues in
rented teeth again.
This campaign will be which candidate can rescue this country.
Oops. Somebody got off on a sentence. Let's see where he was going.
Close to finishing the job, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
One of the most important issues in this campaign will be which candidate can rescue. And this country needs a rescuing. We have to rescue.
Which candidate can rescue the country? I see. From who?
One of the most important issues in this campaign will be which candidate can rescue. And this country needs a rescuing. We have to rescue America from the wreckage of the Biden economy.
I see. So rescuing from the wreckage. Which candidate can rescue us from the wreckage of the Biden economy? Yeah, you can't do that to somebody in his mouth, tooth, and jaw situation. That's cruel. So we need some rescuing.
Under my leadership, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world.
Oh my God.
In fact, we actually did it twice because that horrible gift from China came over. COVID, or the China virus, as many people say. Actually, in New Hampshire, you say China virus, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a New Hampshire thing.
But now
even in Old Hampshire, they say.
We will do it again. We will do it again. We passed the largest tax cuts and reforms in American history.
It's just materially not true.
We cut more job-killing regulations than any administration ever, also in history.
Well, if the jobs you're talking about are like waste management and cleanup crews, because you didn't bother, like these are environmental regulations that you're just leaving unregulated. Knock yourself out. Spill all the shit into the food and water you want.
We achieved American energy independence, and we were about set to do...
We're about to do energy dominance.
American energy dominance, bigger than Saudi Arabia, bigger than Russia combined, ×2.
Saudi Arabia is practically out of oil. And Russia's oil is shit, and its output is terrible.
And we slashed...
Always was.
...the price of gas.
Natural gas is what drove the European, like the linkage to Russia from Europe's standpoint.
Gasoline down all the way down to $1.87 a gallon. Doesn't...
Because nobody was fucking going anywhere. Oh my God, it's the same shit. Like, honest to God, you know what I would give to fucking be able to stand there with my own microphone next to this dickhead when he says that in particular? I mean, that one is right up there with the, I passed the VA Choice Act, which he no longer says because yours truly called him out on it so many fucking times it eventually got back to
you
them.
have this horrible inflation because of what happened to your energy. Now everything's up. Now it's happening to everything.
Now it's happening to everything.
Thank you. Thanks to our policies, the typical New Hampshire family saw their annual income rise by $6,000, the largest increase in recorded history, the largest. Nobody's ever seen that, by $6,000. Everybody was happy.
Yeah, the average, because in New Hampshire you have gigantic rich families and then very few like other people in the very few middle class and a lot of poor people, and so it evened out at 6,000 because the rich people got 10 and everybody else got 1. Fucking hell.
For decades, the corrupt globalist establishment savagely betrayed New Hampshire workers. You know that better than most. I see those.
You know that better than people who don't live in New Hampshire, I suppose.
I see those beautiful factory buildings. Some are now apartment houses and some are now senior citizens, but
some of them, they've turned factories into senior citizens.
The factories, that's what you had to do.
Yeah, you had to take them and turn them into grandmothers.
I see those beautiful factory buildings. Some are now apartment houses and some are now senior citizens, but the factories,
yeah, that's right. And I'm sorry, Biden's old and doddering and insane. Do you greet old people by going, didn't you used to be a factory? Fucking hell.
That's what you had to do. The factories, there's so many gone.
Yes, there's so many gone because they turn them into old people and old people die.
State lost 1 in 4 manufacturing jobs after the NAFTA disaster and China's entrance into the World Trade Organization. But after years of cruel sellouts by past leaders, I ended NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made. That was the worst trade deal ever.
They tweaked it and renamed it. Calm the fuck down.
Made what they did to us for so many decades and replaced it with the incredible USMCA.
By the way, if the majority of the fucking factory jobs in New Hampshire went to China, what the fuck does that have to do with NAFTA? Isn't that about Mexico taking fucking factory jobs? But none of the factories in New Hampshire went to fucking Mexico. What? Christ, New Hampshire probably uses, of all the northeastern states, probably has, in its manufacturing, has more immigrant labor than the other 3 surrounding states combined.
Mexico, Canada, that's considered now the best trade deal ever made. So good.
By Corey Lewandowski.
In fact, that Mexico and Canada are now trying to renegotiate the deal with the Biden administration.
By the way, he's been saying this for a year and a half. Since he started talking again. Where has that ever come up? I'm serious. The USMCA humped right the fuck along. Like it was not even, everybody was like, well, eventually we should probably renegotiate NAFTA. And they did, and that was that. they're not fighting to do that. Like Mexico and Canada aren't joining together and adding tariffs and trying to muscle their way out of the fucking thing or circumvent us or any shit. They haven't even talked about it.
I say, don't do it. Don't talk about it. Don't do it. Somebody over there told me it's unfair. I said, you know what? We lived with unfair for decades. Now they say it's unfair. No, we made a great deal, and you're all manufacturers, farmers, everybody is benefiting. USMCA, we're
Yeah, but not much. Obviously, we're a country in decline and everything is failing, and there's just giant potholes where cities used to be. So
very proud of that. Don't let them renegotiate. I withdrew from the job-crushing Trans-Pacific Partnership. That would have totally destroyed this country.
No, it wouldn't have. It would have destroyed China as a manufacturing hub. But thankfully, COVID came along and picked up where that one left off.
They were all set to sign. Obama.
They were all set to sign Obama.
Job-crushing Trans-Pacific Partnership. That would have totally destroyed this country. They were all set to sign Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. They were all set to sign it. And I stood up to China like no administration has ever done.
All right. I mean, at this point, he's just making shit up.
Before. Bringing in hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our...
Okay, it's the same shit. Hold on. All right, we got to take a break and go to... By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. I try not to... I don't do needle drops necessarily. But let's see. Let me find one that's relatively short. That's pretty... gosh, let's see. Where do we go? Where do we go? All right, we'll go to this one next. Because... you know, you can always count on the mess to give us all the lowdown, the dirty inside scoop. The only sad part about this, and by the way, the title is Did Fox Give Tucker the Boot or Did Tucker Walk? Either way, it's bad news for Fox. So, fuck, I guess we don't even have to watch it. Never mind. Pass. I mean, why resolve it right in the title, dum-dum? Anyways, okay, let's see what he has to say. No matter what he says, it will not be as funny as Trump trying to pronounce the names of strangers.
In my discussion of Tucker Carlson and his sudden and somewhat shocking departure from Fox.
Somewhat.
Well, a theory about this is that Tucker is being sued, apparently being sued by somebody for creating a hostile work environment.
That's actually happening. That's true. That's not a theory.
The accusations seem kind of vague. Mostly it seems to be the fact that Tucker just kind of rounded up his staff and subjected them to various red-pilling exercises, and this was supposedly...
No. Apparently it has to do with racist language on a scale that surpasses anything he's ever been heard saying before. So much so that the Fox News exec said this is unrecoverable when people hear about this. So that, I mean, you imagine how bad it has to fucking be. We're talking about like Trump apprentice tapes level shit for Fox to dump somebody like this.
Very disturbing to this individual. In any event, it's hard for me to believe that that is, in fact, the real explanation.
Well, nobody's saying it is. You brought it up, dum-dum.
True, it's coming on the heels of the Dominion settlement, but unless there's something far more to all this than we know.
There is. There are 90 recordings. Oh, and by the way, I'm sure she made others that nothing really showed up on or taped the conversation and was like, nothing really happened in that one. But she kept 90 of them. 10 of them were used in the Dominion case, and it cost the network $787 million. You idiot.
That seems to me to be a dubious explanation. Another explanation that's been reported, and I'm merely passing this along.
Yeah, we're not going to kill the messenger, Demes. You don't actually have any facts of your own. I've seen your movies.
Is the idea that Tucker was angered Rupert Murdoch by going down the January 6th road.
I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but it sounds like it chafes.
Now, if this is true, and if either Rupert Murdoch or the Murdoch family was upset about this, that shows that Fox is in serious trouble. Why? Because they're taking mainstream topics of genuine public interest and certainly of intense interest on the right. Topics like election fraud, what really happened in 2020, what happened in 2022.
By the way, not giving full disclosure on, Demes here is, he has a bone to pick with the folks at Fox, the uppers, the editors, and the owners, because they wouldn't let him come on and pitch 2,000 Mules, because it would have cost him another billion fucking dollars. But he thinks it was because they're just not interested in the truth. So he's been looking forward to an opportunity to shit on them about this stuff, and is no fan of Tucker's, because Tucker wouldn't have him on to talk this stuff, because he actually heard the Sidney Powell shit and was like, this is bullshit too.
Say Arizona.
Okay, Arizona. I said it. Now what?
The continuing tragic plight of the January 6th defendants.
Oh, it is tragic. It's tragic that someone. It's tragic that they haven't been sentenced to decades already for attacking police officers and shitting in the Capitol Dome while sneaking Confederate flags in the fucking place. They can eat shit.
Real abuses of judicial process and procedure.
None. There have been none. Because if there was any, they would be out by now.
Corruption of judges.
No, there are no corrupt judges in this. As a matter of fact, most of these assholes are getting off with a slap on the wrist.
The ruthlessness of the prosecution.
Ooh, ruthless.
Penalties out of proportion to the offenses.
Nope, none.
Solitary confinement for months, in some cases years before.
In some cases, years? No. No one's been in there for over a year, and certainly not in solitary. Secondarily, it may be a year and a couple months, but they weren't in solitary the entire fucking time. And a lot of them are in solitary because, A, they refuse to be vaccinated, so they have to be separated from everybody else, or they spit on guards yelling that they won't be vaccinated and fuck you, I hope you die of COVID, and it's all a China virus, blah, blah, blah. And they get put in a cell, and then every time somebody comes to feed them, they piss out the hole and do all that kind of shit.
Trial. All of this is going on. It's an outrage.
Oh, well, there you go. All the charges against these people are true, and the mess has confirmed it. He said outrage.
It is of deep concern to many Republicans and conservatives. And if the Murdochs are like, well, this isn't going to be off limits at Fox.
Yeah, it's not off limits. Lying about it is off limits. Making up facts, pretending these fuckers don't deserve what they're getting, or trying to interfere in the ongoing case of it by siding with them and creating a situation where you could hang a jury, or you could make an argument that you can't get a fair trial because Fox News is talking about it non-fucking stop. That's reason enough why Fox uppers would not want him to hammer this bullshit from the angle that there's something to it when there isn't anything. This asshole has not found that somebody innocent or who was not there or who did not fucking film themselves attacking a police officer is in jail for fucking anything right now.
Well, that's going to be very bad. That's a very bad comment on Fox itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it could be that this was a mutual parting. In fact,
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, add it to the list, but we can cross that one off early. I think
that's what
I think the whole not allowing him to do a goodbye show and not picking his replacement and not doing a Fox Nation tour, losing that show as well. I'm gonna go with no. I'm going to go with it was a mutual fuck you.
Fox press release said. And that Tucker had basically had enough. That's the other possibility. And I think.
Yeah, sometimes you just tap out. Yeah, maybe he just had enough on a Friday night. He's like, I've had enough millions of dollars for phoning in psycho bullshit 1 hour a night.
Think back, for example.
From my house.
To our experience with Tucker with 2,000 Mules.
Mm-hmm. Remember what I said?
Where we were trying to get 2,000 Mules covered by Fox. And time again, the Fox hosts were like, well, we're thinking about it. But it was very clear over time that.
It was very clear over time that they weren't thinking
We're
about.
thinking about it. But it was very clear over time that they were.
Sorry, he didn't say Cleo. He said Clea. He suddenly became a matron on an old plantation. It became abundantly clear over time.
Saying that, but in fact, they had been ordered not to touch the topic. In fact, none of them could touch it, including Tucker.
Well, unless they had irrefutable evidence, and your movie is the exact opposite of that.
And Tucker had the most latitude at Fox because I guess he had the highest ratings. They let him do more of what he wanted.
But apparently not.
Than other Fox hosts who are more reined in. But nevertheless, imagine.
He's pretty reined in, I'm saying.
Tucker wants to cover 2,000 mules. They're like, no, you can't do it. Tucker he gets exclusive access to 40,000 hours of January 6th footage. He finds all this stuff. He's really excited. No, we're really upset you put out the 2 clips that you did. No more of that, Tucker.
What? First of all, he's making up this dialogue in his fucking head. And the reality is that the footage that they put out already got some of the Jan 6ers who were on trial in more fucking trouble than they already were. And they realize that if they keep releasing footage of this shit, there are defendants who are hoping that there's just too much of the fucking video to comb through, and the prosecutors haven't bothered or figure it out that was them there at that moment. And if Fox fucking posts it, the cops will go, oh, wait a minute, that's defendant number 2275. That motherfucker was there. Oh, that's him kicking the cop in the head. Oh, wait, fuck that guy. We were going to let him off slightly.
And we're not going to have any two ways about it. Basically, this is a final order. So Tucker probably realized, well, I've basically...
Yeah, he probably realized that. I mean, I don't want to put words or thoughts in his fucking head, but sure.
Become a pawn of the political interests and agenda and even feuds of the Murdoch family. They might be angry or infuriated with Trump. They want to make sure Trump never runs again or Trump can never make it again. Fox has turned against Trump, and we see indications of this.
Gee, I can't imagine why. He's only sided with the country that just took one of their reporters hostage.
From the way that Trump is covered now by the New York Post, we see it also from the Wall Street.
That started all of a sudden, the Humpty Trumpty thing wasn't a clue that they're not all in on this dumb motherfucker.
Journal, we see it on Fox, and wait a minute, all those happen to be Murdoch properties. So it tells you something. But again, Tucker's like, why do I have to be part of this millionaire or billionaire squabble? It's kind of undignified.
Again, fuck you. Why does this asshole get to make up dialogue? This is the same thing Glenn Beck does, making up dialogue between these folks. And you can tell it's one thing to postulate that this is a possibility that someone, but he's actually, you can tell that as each sentence continues out of his fucking mouth, he thinks this really happened.
It's humiliating. And so Tucker might have decided, I'm basically out the door. Now, this I think is risky for Fox, right? This was my tweet. Nobody watches Fox.
Oh, great. You're reading your own tweets now.
Because of Fox. Fox seems to have forgotten that. And think about that.
Ouch. Ugh. And think about how you weren't even able to put that up on screen. Too much work?
Do you have a brand loyalty to Fox? It's like, it doesn't matter who Fox puts on. I'm going to be watching Fox. No, most people aren't like that. They watch.
They're only going to watch a certain point of view, and Fox is the main voice of that. They're not going to lose audience to CNN and MSNBC, you fucking dolt.
Watch Fox because of Tucker. They watch Fox because...
No, they don't. They watch because they like how racist Jesse Waters is. They watch because Sean Hannity is the storied long-term anchor man on there. They watch Laura Ingraham because she had the guts to actually genuflect Nazi style at the RNC. They watch Gutfeld because they hate comedy.
Because they like Fox and Friends. They're
And they love a show that puts two guys on either side of a woman in a short skirt and puts the camera at knee height, and then so you can sit there like a habitually masturbating old fart, waiting for her to uncross her legs. You fucking creeps.
Loyalty is to those shows, and their loyalty is to those hosts. And now with Bongino leaving Fox, or
wait, come on. They broomed him to a Saturday afternoon show. There's no network that goes down based on the shifts in their Saturday afternoon lineup, dude.
Bongino is exiting Fox. Tucker
is
exiting Fox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're exiting.
It's kind of like, what's really left at Fox?
Yeah. Fuck Hannity, Laura Ingraham, The Five, Gutfeld, Jesse Waters, the Fox and Friends. I mean, what have they even been selling their fucking souls if they have them in the first place for? In this whole, they're all drafting behind Tucker. The fuck is the point?
Tucker has a lot of opportunities in front of him. He can go Joe Rogan style and do a...
Yeah, he can shave his head and start taking Alpha Brain and call UFC games.
Podcast. He can try to start his own TV network.
Tucker Vision. Yeah. It's got a little bow tie that just spins onto the screen. And Tucker Vision. Then it's like claymation kid shows about ball tanning.
And maybe pull some people at Fox and some other people into it. It's not clear what his next...
Yeah, like Jack Nicholson and Wolf.
...move would be. Debbie had a hilarious suggestion this morning. She goes...
No doubt.
CNN should hire Tucker. She goes, CNN keeps claiming we're going to try to be more fair-minded. They would rock the whole cable world if they were to bring on Tucker. And then Debbie goes, and then Fox, if they want to go left, they can hire Don Lemon.
Like, he does realize that people were making this shitty joke the day of, right?
I don't think this will happen, by the way.
No, probably not.
Because I don't think...
Oh, Debbie's laughing at her own shit in the background.
Listen. Lemon. I don't think this will happen, by the way, because I don't...
Here? Yeah. So he had to give her a shout out because she's in the room.
I think that either network is willing to go to that extent. But certainly, I mean, if I were running CNN, that's what I would do.
Yeah, but if you were running CNN, it would have ceased to exist years ago. So, there's that.
And it would rescue the entire network, and you could...
Totally. It would absolutely rescue CNN.
Have a whole bunch of left-wingers stay because Tucker would be the counter, and it would be very clear that CNN has been...
Yeah, they could bring him back and restart Crossfire and pretend the 2000s never fucking happened.
Become suddenly...
Jesus Christ, that was a hard A. That was my Chicago came out. Happened.
More fair and balanced than Fox. My discussion.
Yeah, that's how he ends it. More fair and balanced than Fox. I guess, sure, considering they aren't. By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks. I'm just saying it helps the show. Cup of coffee a month. At any point, this little rotating thing. Look at that. It popped over. Look at that's PayPal. If you use PayPal, that's the tip jar thing. Take a picture of it with your phone. I think it works. Hope so. Give it a try. I don't know. Anyways, but back to Trump talking out of his ass. Shall we? Let's pick up where we left off. We're going to do like bits of this shit because there's no reason to submit ourselves to the entire thing. Trump, chapter 2.
Of Tucker.
Oh, wait, shit. I got to click on the wrong button. There we go.
Treasury from China when no other president had gotten even 10 cents.
10 cents, right?
Not one president got, and I literally mean not 10 cents.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. We've had tariffs with China before. Like, his literal 10 cents. You're right. Obama didn't get literally 10 cents. He literally got billions of dollars because of the steel tariffs. Is that what he fucking means? Maybe he only got 10 cents. And that's what he's talking about. He literally got 10 cents. And no other president literally got 10 cents. Like, Trump looked at the cost versus what they got in return, and there was 10 cents left over.
We got hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yes, and 10 cents. And we spent hundreds of billions of dollars, so we got to keep the 10 cents.
I don't think they like me too much, but that's okay.
Well, apparently, according to you, they attacked us with a bioweapon, and your response was to sell them all of our beef, pork, corn, and soybeans.
Well, everybody else is paid off by China, including, by the way, our president. Okay.
Okay. I was trying to, and they wouldn't give me any money.
It's a big problem.
It's a big problem. For your bottom line. Secondly, A, didn't happen. B, if they did pay Biden, I give Biden more points for rolling the fuck out of them. Because seriously, they bribe him, and what they get out of it is the AUKUS agreement, the reshoring of factories at the fastest clip in American history, and the Chips and Science Act out of it. They're fucked. I'll show you in a minute. Hold on. Well, fuck it. I'll just show you right now. Give me 1 second. I'm going to bring up this thing. Okay. Let's try to do trying to get the... I'm trying to find the most recent one. 99, take it. This is the... I don't know, accept all cookies. There you go. Let's see, back up. Trying to find this article. Give me 1 second. There you go. This is December. This is here's the current situation. Wait, I'll go to this one. China's trade suffers worst slump in 2.5 years as COVID woes, feeble demand take toll. By the way, China was just hit with another wave of COVID. And they're not even, after shutting down every time one happened, they're just letting it roll. Millions of people have died in the last 5 months. I'm not kidding at all. Millions. And they don't give a fuck because trillions of dollars worth more than millions of lives. That's their idea. Here you go. China's exports are the worst since February of 2020. They missed the forecast. Imports fall the steepest since May 2020 on a sluggish demand. This is their worst since the beginning of COVID, when everybody was packing their shit and getting out. Politburo points to domestic demand key driver in 2023, which has not shown up yet. Just for the record, China's economy is ass right now. Hold on. There's a let's see. Looking for one thing. There you go. This is in January. Just in a month before. Hold on. Let's go to this one. China's exports slump further as global demand drops off. Overseas shipments fall 9.9% in December, according to their customs authority. Foreign trade still facing pressure with weak global economy. We're all not buying enough to keep them afloat. Yeah. Both the weakening global demand and the wave of COVID outbreak likely contributed to the decline in December exports, said Zhang Zhiwei, the president and chief economist at Pinpoint Asset Management. The weak export growth highlights the importance of boosting domestic demand as the key driver for the economy in 2023. That's what that guy was talking about. Now let me look at this. Let me show you one more thing, and then we'll jump back into where we were. Let's see. Factories moving out of... I can tell you. Let's see, it's October. Is the, yeah. Well, here's a, we'll do this. I'll just do a bunch of them. This is, I don't want to go back too far. Hold on. Here you go. Let me open this up real quick. Here you go. This is what the billions of dollars that China giving to Biden apparently got them. China's losing its place as the center of the world's supply chains. Here are 5 supply chains. Here's where the 5 supply chains are going instead. They're going to India. Let me move this. No thanks. They're going to India, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, and Bangladesh. By the way, all countries that were under TPP. That was the whole fucking point of TPP, was to stop Chinese hegemony on manufacturing in the South China Seas and give them, and that area of the world, including the western part of India's like ports anyways, the port cities where they would manufacture stuff and be able to get it out into the world market. That's what TPP was fucking for. But killing TPP was a huge benefit to China. Report, more manufacturing moving out of China. The sourcing trend has been underway in this industry and others. New data from CNBC's supply chain heat map shows that China is losing more manufacturing to Vietnam, Malaysia, Bangladesh, India, and Taiwan. Here's another one. China loses grip on global manufacturing. Why it matters. Decades of geopolitics built in economic dependence stand to be impacted. Decades of geopolitics built on economic dependence stand to be impacted. The comma would be helpful, guys. Driving the news. Apple has accelerated plans to move some of its production outside of China as its business is being hurt by stringent COVID policies. This is in December. When did this one come out? Yeah, it's December 5th, 2022. They already made the decision last year. They're using COVID as a way to pry themselves loose because the Uyghur genocide is of a bigger concern to the internals at Apple than the COVID shit, although it is enormously costly. Yeah. A small portion of Apple's newest iPhones is already being made in India, where that share could grow potentially to 25% of all iPhones by 2025. In less than 2 years, they are going to have a quarter of them all being made in India. They're also moving one of their newest factories to Vietnam that was supposed to replace one in China. That one's going to be shut down, and it's going to be moved to Vietnam. Here's another one. Oh, there we go. Big multinational companies moving out of China. Let me scroll this down so you can see it. There you go. Famous firms pulling out of the People's Republic as the U.S.-China trade war and dispute over Taiwan rumbles on, and relations between other liberal democracies and Beijing deteriorate due to everything from intellectual property theft to human rights violations in Xinjiang and the erosion of Hong Kong's autonomy. Many globally renowned companies are deserting China. In fact, research firm Gartner revealed that a third of supply chain leaders had plans to move at least some of their manufacturing out of China by 2023. That's this year. COVID-related sales slumps and supply chain disruption, as well as rising production costs, have hastened the exodus. And that this is just ongoing.
You wonder why.
And again, if China paid Biden to be treated like this, they are kinkier than I thought.
He does nothing about China, why he doesn't do what he's supposed to be doing, because he...
What's he supposed to be doing, fuckhead? Nuking them? We're doing everything short of that, practically.
Got millions of dollars from China, you see it.
I thought it was billions, personally, but...
I made big promises to the people of New Hampshire, and as your president...
I didn't keep them.
I kept every single promise.
Yeah, your tax cut was... You promised New Hampshire that it would be temporary for individuals, but permanent for corporations? Cool. I had no idea New Hampshire was the Ayn Rand state.
When China unfairly targeted our...
By the way, did you promise to only be a one-term president and fail spectacularly in your reelection bid? Because I honestly, that was a big win then.
Lobstermen, I gave them hundreds of millions of dollars in relief straight from the money we were taking in from China. We took a little bit out, like a little bit's hundreds of millions of dollars, by the way, but that's a lot to a lobsterman.
Yeah, they're cheap fuckers.
And we
and the thing about lobsters is you can't sell those for very much. You know, that's a low priced item. You know what I mean? That's like, you know, ask the crawdad guys in Louisiana. You know, they're like, at least I'm not in the lobster business.
Brought it back I made a deal with the European Union to completely eliminate tariffs on American lobster. You know that? They were charging us big tariffs so that we couldn't sell to them.
One moment, please. Hold on, let me move this fucking, get that fucking ad out of the way. This is from Trump has a habit of touting shit that he did late in his presidency, right before the election, in an attempt to secure certain votes from certain people that he could have done early on for some reason, and then just blew off, and then effectively just had his trade representative, who was Lighthizer, who's always been around, always, you know, he was one of the few good hires that he had, come in and run this shit. Hold on, and I'm gonna move this page up. See, there you go. Fuck off. All right, this is. I just don't think this sells the way he thinks it does. U.S. and EU hatch mini deal to cut lobster, other tariffs. The United States and European Union on Friday announced a mini deal valued at around $200 million to cut import tariffs on a small range of products, including U.S. lobsters, in a sign of easing transatlantic trade tensions. The two, who have been at odds over aircraft subsidies and Trump's imposition of punitive tariffs on EU steel and aluminum, announced the deal in a joint statement. The importance of the deal is that it has unleashed positive results elsewhere, an EU official said. Under the agreement, the EU will remove tariffs of 8 to 12% imports on lobsters, while the United States will have its duties on imports of certain glassware, ceramics, disposable lighters, and prepared meals. To comply with World Trade Organization rules, the lowered and removed tariffs will apply to all WTO members, although the products have been chosen so as to maximize mutual benefits. The whole deal is worth some 168 million euros based on 2019 trade. The EU imported some 42 million euros of U.S. lobsters and exported to the United States 126 million euros of other products involved. The apparent mismatch is partly because the United States will only be having, not removing tariffs. Lobsters have been a big concern for Trump, who threatened in June to impose tariffs on Europe and China over lobster duties. Lawmakers from Maine have, not New Hampshire, but whatever, have repeatedly called for aid to the lobster industry, which supports the livelihood of 4,500 state-licensed lobstermen and an additional 10,000 people. U.S. Senator Independent Angus King, who caucuses with the Democrats, said the agreement would help level the playing field for U.S. producers whose European sales declined after a trade deal between Canada and the EU eliminated tariffs on Canadian lobsters. The U.S. industry has also been hurt by Chinese tariffs imposed in 2018. By the way, notice how Canada signed a deal with the EU, eliminating their tariffs and cutting their tariffs, and we basically copped theirs. The agreement will still need approval from EU governments. That happened. Washington has subjected $7.5 billion of EU products, including Scottish whiskey, French wine, European cheese, to tariffs because of a WTO case it won over EU subsidies given to plane maker Airbus AirPA, which, by the way, the U.S. won that fight and Obama brought it. It had threatened to increase them, however. It carried out only a very modest changes last week, a move welcomed by the European Commission as a sign of Washington's willingness to work through a range of trade disputes with Brussels. So the trade the trade lawsuit that Obama started, we won, and instead of fully enforcing it, Trump used it to benefit lobstermen. In particular, because Canada had already done that, and he was just stealing from Trudeau's playbook.
The first EU tariff reduction on any product in over 20 years. Nobody ever asked the EU, or if they did, they didn't get it, because they're very difficult people to deal with. I want to tell you that. They don't care about us, they care about them. And maybe that's the way it's supposed to be.
He cut tariffs on European goods, hundreds of them, in half. to get the lobster tariff taken off because he thinks fishermen are like, you know, any other blue collar worker. He can just court them and they're largely white. That's his thought. This is no reflection on lobstermen. Like, I'm glad they got some help, but for fuck's sake.
Supposed to be, right? I also
And it was, the organization is in Maine, not New Hampshire, but
opened up 5,000 square miles of ocean that Barack Obama closed to New England fishermen. You know about that?
Yes, because overfishing would drive them out of business eventually.
But you also know I opened them up totally. Nobody could even tell me why they closed. Think of miles and
I coulda.
miles of beautiful oceanfront.
Oceanfront. Motherfucker, it's like 5 miles out to sea. Yes, the ocean is in front of you no matter what direction you turn. You fucking turd.
And now I understand that they want to close it up again. Is that true? I can't.
Because they're going to overfish the lobster out of existence, you dumb fuck.
I can't believe it.
That's because you're stupid. Because China is buying all of it up, and everybody be stupid not to get as much as they can and sell it. And China's trying to basically burn out the entire area. What you do is this is a way that China attacks the trade of other countries, especially fisheries, and in this case, shellfish, which you can wipe out an entire crop and it never really will recover, is that you send everybody out. You don't have any areas that are off limits. You do it in a certain area. They've done it around South Africa as well. You just buy everything they have. Even if you don't need it, you buy it and fucking freeze it. You just spend money hand over fist. Everybody's like, oh shit, and pay a higher amount for it. And then eventually, it's all gone. And you've killed the entire industry, and then you start selling yours. You create what's effectively an oceanic dust bowl on purpose. That's why, you stupid fuck. I have a real problem with politicians that can't see past the end of their fucking nose. And especially people who don't give a shit what happens after they're dead, like this dickhead.
I can't believe it. Yeah,
that's because you're stupid.
Let Canada do all. You know, Canada's the one that wanted it closed because they want to do the business.
No, they have limited areas as well.
And I gave our farmers $28 billion out of the tariffs that we took in from China because they were...
Because I needed to buy the votes.
Treated very unfairly.
Because I was trying to... And by the way, most of it in Wisconsin, because he was trying to buy fucking Wisconsin for the election.
I said, how much would it be? They said, approximately $28 billion. I said, I'm going to take it from China. China paid them $28 billion. Who else is going to do that one, okay?
You're patching the hole that you created with the battle, with the tariff war. And then you end up selling the shit to them anyways.
Tell that one to President Xi. You mind giving our farmers $28 billion? Actually, better than that, we signed an incredible trade deal with China. But once COVID came in, I didn't care about trade deals so much. But it's...
Really, you think? Yeah? You still followed through on it, even though you accused them of attacking us with a bioweapon. It's kind of a fucked up response, don't you think?
A tremendous trade deal, $50 billion. And it was an amazing deal. But once...
How much did they actually spend? 11. Uh-huh.
Once COVID came in, I didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, because it was an absolute failure. At best, it was a rope-a-dope where they just went, oh, we really need your help. We're really going to buy a lot of shit. And then they just swept the leg and bought everything while you were on the floor.
In everything I did, I put New Hampshire first and I put America first, everything.
Well, on the auction block, sure.
When I left office, we handed Joe Biden the fastest economic recovery ever recorded, all with no inflation. We didn't have inflation.
That's because we were all still fucking locked down, dum-dum.
We had low energy prices.
Nobody was using it. Nobody was going anywhere.
So I kept it down.
Because I kept it down by killing off a lot of Americans, I guess.
He stopped the energy, stopped the drilling. You know, I have a sign, drill we must, right? They have a sign.
You have a sign, drill we must? No, I don't know. Do you have a sign that says that somewhere?
And don't drill. We won't, they won't do it. They won't do it.
Is that what it says? Don't drill. Mm-hmm. Maybe over a gas pipeline. Maybe it's one of those signs like, consult with the city before you slam a shovel in the ground, you stupid bastard.
What they're doing is crazy. And
Yes, apparently crazy, not drilling.
what it's done is raised everything. And now everything's so high, and now they've taken on their own inflationary trend. It's not just energy anymore.
No, it isn't. What is it? Oh, we're not getting shit from China the way we used to. And of course, Buy American actually has some teeth now.
But they did that with energy. They destroyed our economy with the high prices. All electric cars. Oh, that's wonderful. Everybody, they don't have enough electric to turn on the lights.
Yeah, like rolling blackouts all across America, except in Portland, where everything has been destroyed. Rip Portland. Hashtag Rip Portland.
And now they're going to say, let's do all electric. I love electric cars. They go for about an hour and a half. Then you're in the middle of nowhere. You're saying, how do I get this thing charged up?
Is that how it works? Is that everybody's experience? Then you're in the middle of nowhere. This motherfucker has never been anywhere where in an hour he's in the middle of nowhere. Like, he only goes to places that are highly populated, where there'd be plenty of charging stations and all that shit. Like, and neither does anybody he knows.
He took that booming economy and he promptly blew it to shreds.
Yes, that's right. All in the name of low unemployment. What a bastard.
He took the greatest economy in history.
And it's shredded. The stock market's down to 2, I think, the last time I looked. The dollar's worth 10 cents.
It was just announced that in the first quarter of 2023,
that would be this year,
GDP growth was a very weak 1.1%, and the forecasts show it's going to be getting much, much worse. So we're at 1% and getting worse. That doesn't sound too prosperous, does it? Look at these other countries that are eating our lunch. I had them. They were doing anything they could. They were doing anything they could. They were releasing viruses. No, by the way, I'm quoting him. This is not something I believe, just for the record. Respected your leader. They respected your country. I want to tell you.
Yeah, they totally did. That's why they laughed when you were not in the room. That's why there were all those tapes of them going, this motherfucker's an idiot.
They saw me coming.
They were like, here comes Looney Tunes.
They weren't happy.
Yes, when they saw you coming, they weren't happy. Our allies, he means. Our enemies were like, what's up, Donnie boy?
They weren't happy. Every time France...
For the record, nobody's happy when they see him coming.
France, or one of the countries, but France in particular, they were a little difficult. I really like their leader, but he's a very difficult guy.
Well, he's difficult to understand. I think it might be the French language, not the people, although...
And whenever he got cute and wanted to tax our people or our companies, I just said, that's okay. We're going to put a 100% tariff on all wine and champagne coming into the United States. They would say, no, 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 we will not do it. We have decided we won't do it.
Why does every foreigner have the same accent with this fuckhead?
No, but I don't think they do that.
Nah, but they don't do that.
I don't think they do that in this group here. We should have tremendous power. We have tremendous economic power that we don't use. But, we better be smart.
Oh, dude, we're sanctioning the fuck out of Russia right now. We're supposed to attack our allies for nothing right now?
Because soon we're not going to have economic power. We're not going to have anything.
No, it's very soon. Weeks. I mean, honestly, by the time you want to run for president, this place is going to be a fucking burned down barn. So I'd just go ahead and move to Russia if I were you.
Since Joe Biden took office, the typical family has lost over $7,400 in annual income. Think of that.
Well, I mean, because we hadn't gotten to the point where we could inoculate everyone and a bunch of people died because of COVID because you were like, fuck it, all over the country. Red states in particular. People who didn't get vaccinated. So you lose a member of the family. That's going to cut into the household income.
Inflation is out of control.
It's totally out of control. It's sort of under control, but yeah.
Banks are collapsing. Banks are going bad. That's a bad sign.
Yeah, when banks, I mean, you can't even go to the bank anymore. The banks aren't there. Yeah. Are you Joe? Yes. Are you Joe Banks? Yeah. All right, sorry. No more quoting Joe versus the volcano for the next 3 minutes.
Remember, 1929, it started with the banks.
Yes, yeah, January 1st, everybody was popping champagne, and then the banks all exploded.
Real wages
This stock market.
are down 24 months in a row, the longest losing streak ever. ever in our country. Think of that, real wages. That's what it's all about, is real wages. The
It is real wages.
trade deficit
It's almost as if we're coming out of a pandemic.
has surged to a record $1 trillion. Household wealth has declined by $4 trillion.
Wow, whose house was that? That must have been a nice yard.
These are numbers that nobody's ever seen before.
No, nobody's ever even seen the word 4 trillion written down.
You know, they stand up and they say, no, the economy is good. The economy is horrible.
It is. It's terrible. It's awful. Yeah, it's never been this bad. I mean, we're all like pining for 2008.
After Biden shut down the Keystone XL pipeline that I started.
Yeah, he put the shovel in the ground, the very first one. He made most of the pipeline himself by blowing up balloons and then wrapping them in Flex Seal.
And passed a $20 billion tax hike on American energy. Gas prices in New Hampshire are up 53%. And your state, congratulations, you did have one good thing from this administration. You set a record, if you like records, but not like this. Your state has the highest electricity costs in the entire nation. Tell your governor he ought to work on that a little bit. You know that's it.
Boo! Highest energy cost. Boo! Because it's a small state and they buy most of their energy from outside the state and they don't have a nuclear plant anymore.
You have the highest cost in the entire nation.
Oh yeah, let's give that a shot. Hold on one second. Let's see. Let's see. Average energy prices in the United States. Let's see. Let's see. By average subdivisions selected by metropolitan areas. No, that's not going to be it. Let's see. Well, I'm going back to here. Oh, sorry. Go back to this business. And now let's see the electricity profile. Let's see the highest. Let's see, select year. I guess. Well, there we go. This one. 1 second. I'm going to. Which state has the highest energy cost? That should be the easy one. Well, I mean, Hampshire, Hawaii. Residential electricity prices by U.S. state in 2022. That's Statista. Well, let's see. Which state has the cheapest? Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah. Okay. Annual electricity price comparison by state. Let's see. What are the current? How much does one? What's the cheapest state for utilities? Let's see. Colorado, Idaho, Louisiana, Minnesota, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, North Dakota, Utah, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Why is California electric system? Why is electricity so cheap in Texas? Which states pays the most in utilities? Hawaii, Connecticut, and Alabama. Highest average monthly utility costs across different states. Okay, so New Hampshire, fucking nothing.
I will quickly be.
Maybe just he doesn't know the difference between New Hampshire and Hawaii. Maybe this is one of those moments that Trump is always talking about with Biden. He's like, it's so nice to be in Idaho. I mean, California. Yeah, this is one of his moments.
Able to cut that number in half or more.
Because it's already half what you said it was? It's half of California's cost?
I'll do that.
Promise kept already, just by saying it.
Nobody knew that.
Yeah, weird.
New Hampshire has the highest electricity cost. I think the highest energy cost, but highest electricity cost.
Nope. No. Not even close, fuckhead. No.
In the nation.
No. California. And then again, let's see, Hawaii, because it's a fucking island.
Let's go to all electric cars. How does that sound, right? You have the highest electric cost in the nation. They don't want to give you. They don't want you driving. Like, how about driving for about an hour and 15 minutes, and then say it's time to get a charge.
Shit. Yeah. I'm almost. We'll just leave it at the fact that this asshole can't drive anything but a golf cart, which the charge on a golf cart lasts about that long if you drive it all the way. So that's probably his experience with electric
Joe Biden
vehicles.
cares only about enriching his own family. I care about enriching your family and you.
By getting you to save money by eating Trump hamburger.
A Biden victory will be bad for you, good for China, and truly great for these globalists. We got a lot of globalists.
A lot of globalists, and by that I mean the Jew.
A Trump victory will be bad for the globalists, the rhinos, the communists, the Marxists, but it will be great for the hardworking people of New Hampshire.
What about the hardworking Marxist communists of New Hampshire? There are a few, I think. I think some of them work at libraries. And by the way, I don't think they work smart. I think they just sweat a lot.
Within hours of my inauguration, I will begin the process of terminating every Biden policy that is brutalizing New Hampshire and all U.S. workers.
And all U.S. workers. So I guess you're just going to, like, stay home that day? Because none of them are? Okay. Let's take another break from this dickhead, because I can only take so much. And you're watching Hal Sparks' Mega Worldwide, and I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. I want to, let's see, where's the, because I'm on the wrong thing. Hold on one second. Let's go back to here. Let's take a moment, if we can, because the career demise of this woman was greatly exaggerated. We believe that Jeanine Pirro and Maria Bartiromo, as much as Maria might deserve it more than almost anyone at Fox over the Dominion case, the belief was that Pirro had lost her job. That's not the case. They just fired the dudes because Fox is sexist. They're anti-male. They hate white Christian men and others. I don't know. Anyways, so here's Jeanine. This is a crime against America. Well, that's obviously news then. Let's hear it.
Joe Biden's energy secretary doubling down on efforts to electrify the entire military fleet of vehicles by 2030.
Okay, the entire all-electric military fleet by 2030. Notice they're showing tanks, which I don't think they're talking about. I think they're talking about the consumer-type vehicles, like the standard vehicles used on bases and on, all around the country and all around the world, but not so that if you have fuel costs, it's only for the military fighting vehicles. We're not going to have electric airplanes yet. Calm the fuck down.
We can kill people while keeping the climate safe. Yep, the battlefield of the future will have EV tanks. I just hope.
No, that's not what they're talking
there's
about.
a place to plug them in.
Do you support the military adopting that EV fleet by 2030?
I do, and I think we can get there as well. And I do think that reducing our reliance on the volatility of globally traded fossil fuels, where we know that global events such as the war in Ukraine can jack up prices for people back home, it does not contribute to energy security.
So, Joey, this is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's amazing. You should say amazing. Also, again, these motherfuckers think they mean tanks and airplanes and Bradley fighting vehicles and even the Jeeps, which they fucking don't.
They bring up the war in Ukraine. Hundreds of thousands of people have died. Yeah. The solution isn't to somehow...
White House wants the military to adopt all electric vehicles.
Mediate a solution, but to talk about switching to EV tanks. That's their...
Yeah, that's not what they're talking about.
Solution. As people are killing each other, as we're sponsoring a war, right?
No, we're not sponsoring a war. We're aiding an ally who's been attacked. We're not. This isn't fucking NASCAR for murder, dumb fuck.
Yeah, that's what people like that lady right there get a lot of innocent people killed.
Yeah,
that's what.
Oh, fuck you, Joey. Come on, man. Hold on one second. There we go. CJ couldn't around drive very much. Oil refineries, something about the Corvette. Hold on, give me a second. Let's see. I'm looking right now for, get the fuck out of here, New York Post. Question, okay. Yeah, here's, let's see. This article is more than 2 years ago. This is what he's talking about. This is what they're talking about right here. Biden wants an all-electric federal fleet, which is the same thing. For postal trucks to passenger vans, the president wants to convert some 645,000 federal vehicles to electric power. The sticking point, they must be made by union workers from at least 50% American-made materials. This is part of what he's talking about. This is the on-the-ground one. Now, eventually, he wants to make all of our military vehicles less polluting. But let me see if there's a... biofuel is part of that. I mean, okay, here we go. Here we go. This is electric vehicles. Yeah, electric vehicles and biofuel. Pentagon poised to go greener under Biden is the name of this article. There it is. Pentagon is weighing a series of proposals to make the military more energy efficient, from mandating all electric vehicles to weaning trucks, ships, and aircraft off of fossil fuels, according to the people familiar with the options. Biden administration has made clear from the beginning that combating climate change is a top priority. And the Pentagon, the world's single largest energy consumer, by the way, not bigger than other countries, but by itself alone. Yeah. And the Pentagon, and by the way, that also includes the nuclear output of submarines and stuff. So, and the Pentagon, the world's single largest energy consumer, has a key role to play. The military has a record of developing new policies intended to curb greenhouse gases and a massive budget of $700 billion annually to carry them out. Lloyd Austin's already signaled he will move quickly on the issue, establishing a climate working group in March. Climate change presents a growing threat to U.S. national security interests and defense objectives. The department will act immediately to conclude the security implications of climate change in our risk analysis, strategy development, and planning guidance. The possible changes, laid out by three people familiar with the proposals, come as the Biden administration rolls out an ambitious 8-year infrastructure plan aimed at eliminating carbon emissions from the power grid by 2035 and across the economy by 2050. In parallel with this plan, the Pentagon is looking to mandate that all non-combat vehicles be electric by 2030 and to finance more projects to reduce the carbon footprint and harden facilities against the effects of climate change. There you go. That's exactly what I was talking about. Is looking to mandate, hasn't even done it yet. Let me scroll this down here, you can see it. Is looking to mandate that all non-combat vehicles. We're clear? Clear. Be electric by 2030. And so Joey is getting his information from Greg, who is getting his information from his asshole.
What happens? The real true irony or even tragedy in this is the Army comes out with its climate strategy before it came out with the Russia-Ukraine strategy, before it came out with the China-Taiwan strategy, before the National Guard had a southern border strategy.
That's because there's fewer moving parts. It's a longer range strategy. Of course, that happened quicker. Because it's based on, all the variables.
So this is an administration that literally cannot protect us on our own southern border, but my God, we're going to have electric tanks, and you can only...
No, we're not.
You can only be serious about this if you believe there's a future where we're one solid collective and there are no wars. So maybe it's just this idea of forfeiture of sovereignty. I don't know, but you...
Yeah, that's why. We want electric tanks because we're going to fold to China and Russia. That's what the whole fighting in Ukraine is about, Joey. Fucking hell, man.
We cannot live in a world where we are at war all the time, whether we want to be or not, and we will always be at war. We always are at war. We always have been at some sort of war. And in every one of those wars, technology advanced, not out of some righteous cause, but out of some edge that you could get on someone, some way to have a leg up on your enemy.
Right. And one of those would be, say, not having to rely on an energy source that they produce and can choke your entire society back at home while you're doing shit. Maybe that. Maybe in areas where you could have, let's just say, a battle carrier group that are nuclear powered, and you could draw energy into electric vehicles from that, including airplanes or drones that don't need any mechanical refueling and can have super fast charging batteries, let's say, and can be recharged in the air just like they can be refueled. And you move those and that happens even quicker than a fuel transfer. Maybe that. Maybe, I don't know if you know this, but human beings are not going to rely on internal combustion engines for fucking ever. By the way, they're also not talking about combat vehicles. So I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt and furthering this conversation.
And this is not that leg. As a guy with electronic legs, this is not that leg.
You know, Jessica, I love having you here on the table, though I wish Geraldo was here so we could talk about the benefits of an EV Bentley in times of war.
Well, I have an EV boat.
You have an EV boat?
Oh, you poor thing.
Not to wish any ill will on Geraldo.
No.
Fuck off.
I certainly, I'm love you. Hope you're watching. Okay. This is.
What is the topic again?
Everybody does a great job sitting in this seat.
I wouldn't go that far.
Stop. You would. Do go that far. Okay. So.
Yeah, you do go that far because you have no worth, Greg, in this panel. None. He adds no ideas and his jokes suck. I'm not kidding. Like that's literally, maybe, well, I would say, since the 5 is actually a show about gripes, and that's all he has, maybe he's the heavyweight on the show. But what a waste of a fucking life.
So, the things that I was interested in about this are the money, how it gets paid for, and then also the safety concerns. Because we have a thought for it. I don't know if you're going to call for it, but I'm presumpting that, and I'm just going to say that.
Would you like me to call for something?
The firefighter who says these fires are bad.
Let's call for that, because Jessica would like that.
Yeah, lithium-ion batteries.
A totally different pathway than what most firefighters have to deal with. It's a totally different mindset. Basically, it's a chemical reaction. It's not a normal fire where fire needs oxygen to burn. This is a chemical reaction that makes its own oxygen.
Jessica, that's the last time I listened to you.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't find that clip.
He doesn't understand it, Jessica. That's why. Greg is stupid. He's a dum-dum. He doesn't understand that actually helps them make their point, and why in a military stance, EV lithium batteries might be bad in some situations, because when they catch fire, they are a self-perpetuating fire. If anybody wants to go check out, well, let me give you an example. The Tesla fires that we've seen a couple of times, you guys have watched those, but let me go to this, and then I want to show you guys. It's an ongoing, our dear friend Serpent ZA pointed out this a little bit ago. Yeah. Let me see this. Hold on one second. This is, these are Chinese EVs that are catching fire. This is BYD. This is the big electric car company in China, and people try to put them out by normal means, and you can't. Even halon doesn't work against them. You have to spray them with foam to just shut the entire thing down, because again, they chemically make their own oxygen and fuel. You can literally in these situations when they burn like this, the only thing you can do is douse the area to make it less flammable. Let's see. I think grabbing this was one, and this is just one car blown up. Hold on. Here's another one. Hold on. This is another car. This I think these folks got out of this one because it caught fire. Yeah, and this is just battery fires. This is one of the issues with electric cars right now and lithium ion. Why everybody's moving away from them? Because lithium ion batteries, not electric cars. Yeah, watch. Everybody's. They overheated, and then everybody's getting away from it. And the cops are saying, get the fuck away from this thing because it's electric, and they're telling everybody to like stay clear. And they're stopping traffic because it gives off a warning and it's starting to smoke, and then what? And then it goes kablooey. Yeah, this guy, keep going. And then it smokes like this, and then everybody clears out, and then it catches fire, and there you go. And then it just burns out, and everybody just has to stay away until it's done. So, and these are the flagship Chinese electric cars, and they fucking suck. Let's see. Yeah, here's Serpent ZA's video on it. You guys should go over and watch his take on this stuff. This is one of the runaway cars. This is another, yeah, this is the shitty construction in them that he talks about. He does a great report on this. But like these vehicles, I'm not going to play most of it. I just want to show you a tease of it. But he goes through a bunch of these fucking cars. There's one that happens and these are all from like people in China posting on WeChat and other stuff. And they all try to put them out, and it doesn't work because that's not how the chemical fire works. They're using fire extinguishers that are built for the kind of yeah, this guy bursts into flames too. And it's sitting there for a moment, and then flooey. There it goes. Yeah. And then everybody just gets the fuck away from it, tries to get their shit out, and then it gets blown up. And that's the guy selling it. Anyways, point being is that that's a real danger with lithium-ion batteries. And there is currently no discharge tool attached to these that vents the battery out in a way that's safe, so they don't burst into flames. And because you're carrying, the energy from a ICE, an internal combustion engine, you carry it in the form of gas, but it only becomes energy when it's ignited with oxygen. And it's in liquid form, it's inert. It's even hard. They always show in movies like somebody flicking a fucking match at gasoline and it goes foof, and it's actually way harder than that. But the point is that it's in a non-condensed form. Unless something punctures it and directly it turns into a light gas, and then the gas ignites long enough to set the rest of it on fire. You don't really have a fire like this. But in a lithium-ion battery, once it starts to overheat, it becomes kind of like a little mini 3 Mile Island under your car. That's the concern. And now good ones are built, to fight back against this. Most modern, like US cars, have a lot of safety measures that keep that shit from happening, and at least to warn you about it, and are protected so that they don't get damaged and start this shit in the first place. That said, most of us have seen a lot of action movies where people shoot at the trunk of a car and it explodes because it's full of gasoline. When in a movie, they actually put, I don't know if you know this, they put garbage bags filled with gasoline inside the car when they blow it up, so they get this sexy plume of exploding stuff out of it. Okay, when it comes to an electric car, it's obviously the majority of them are perfectly safe, and but the BYD ones in China, it's just shitty manufacturing. And so a lot of these, they've had 4 of them in the last 30 days that are really massive, and in a country that, the rest of them are all sitting inert. So that's another conversation for another time. But the point I'm trying to make is that she makes a good argument against this at current technology. By the way, by the time we get to 2030, we're going to have a major shift in how batteries are made that will make them a lot safer than they are now. They're always getting safer, except the BYD things. But they're getting safer in Teslas. They're getting safer in other vehicles, in Hyundais, and like all those guys. They're working all the time to make them better and eventually move them away from lithium ion entirely to a way safer battery as people start calling for them. So we won't have to worry about that in terms of these, because that's how far out the date is. But he doesn't give a shit, nor does he know.
Incredibly.
No, but I think that it's important that people who put out fires, whether it's a volunteer or not, are saying that these kinds of fires are not as easy to extinguish as a fossil fuel fire. And I believe on the battlefield, although I'm only sitting
They're not going to be on the
next to
battlefield.
someone who's been there, that fires do happen, and we need to make sure that we can extinguish them. It was a good thought for that.
I've been on more battlefields than in electric cars. That is true.
No, Judge, when you talk about, Joey brought this up, it's like when you're talking about war, all technology.
Oh, dear.
Is killing as many people as possible to get the war over as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that's not actually how it works. And if you kill as many people as possible, and that means all the civilians in the area, you actually prolong the war, dumb fuck.
Not to worry about, carbon, the carbon whatever and what you're doing to whatever the.
Dude, the majority of what we do on the planet with our military as far as transport is civilian. It is regular pedestrian traffic. On bases, off bases, transportation, like non-military cargo trucks, all that shit. There's a difference between a battle jeep and a Bradley fighting vehicle and a tank and the fucking Chevy that they drive the general around in when he's on base in the United States at Fort Bragg. Derp.
You mean, are you trying to say there shouldn't be an intersection between military ops and green energy? I absolutely agree with you. And by the way, most people in the military would agree that Elizabeth Brownholm doesn't have the chops or the experience to talk about whether or not we need an EV military tank.
First of all, she's from Detroit. She's from Michigan anyways. And so in terms of vehicles, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Secondly, you do? The fuck are you talking about? But I know a thing or two. Yeah, all right.
But having said that, I want to make the point.
Having said nothing,
that this administration is determined and on track to eliminate American energy independence under the
why?
guise of clean energy. And as they're doing so, they're creating a national security risk, okay? The idea that we are buying lithium from China and
we're not.
Which is where this thing started. And we were on track to get.
Which is where this thing started. What do you think? These batteries are run on COVID?
Give $200 million.
Can I? Fuck. I'm gonna. It's this. They're just trying to kill me with the amount of divergent shit. Hold on one second. Electric car battery factory. Taylor District. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Let's go to here. This is a solar. Q Cells is a solar power plant in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district. They just expanded to do electric car batteries. This SK Innovation, along with the $2.6 billion SK Innovation battery factory being built in Commerce, Georgia. The senator said that Hanwha Q Cells factory is, Q Cells solar plant is proof that green jobs can be long-term future for Georgia's manufacturing sector. There's a giant electric vehicle battery facility being built in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district. Also, insofar as get back here, you bastard. Insofar as we have to buy our lithium from from China, and that China is gonna China is gonna make all the thing, and we're gonna buy it from fucking the China. There you go. The Salton Sea could produce the world's greenest lithium if new extraction technologies work. About 40 miles north of California-Mexico border lies the shrinking landlocked lake known as the Salton Sea, and also the name of a great Val Kilmer movie that he made with Joanne Wally Kilmer when they were still married. Though the lake was once the epicenter of a thriving resort community, water contamination, decades of drought have contributed to a collapse of its once vibrant ecosystem and given rise to ghost towns. But amid this environmental disaster, the California Energy Commission estimates there's enough lithium here to meet all of the United States' projected future demand and 40% of the world's demand. Let me say that again. Meet all of the United States' projected future demand. Like all the lithium we'll ever need forever, and 40% of the world's demand. Yeah. By the way, this is the Berkshire Hathaway geothermal plant that's near the Salton Sea. So fuck off with this nonsense that we're going to have to buy all this lithium from China. No, we aren't. There are a lot of other countries that already have it. We have some. We still haven't even peaked the amount. One of the reasons why a lot of lithium from China gets into the mix is because they make all the shitty little batteries and everything over there, and they fuck up the environment doing it. It's one of the reasons why they have, 14% of their land is arable, down from 44%, because they just pollute the shit out of everything and don't think about it.
To a company that is run by the Chinese, the Communist Chinese Party, and Energy Secretary is like, no, but even though we gave them the contract, we haven't given them the money yet. That's a bunch of hogwash, okay?
Oh, that's the Michigan plant, I think they're talking about.
What we've got is we are eliminating our independence, relying on our...
How? We produce 17.6 million barrels a day. We use 20. That's all. If we can shave off 3, we never have to talk to any of these fuckers ever again. 3. We transform the federal fleet into electric vehicles and use nuclear and geothermal and other plants to power those vehicles, so that all of the regular commuter vehicles used on military bases or federal facilities or for transport around fucking federal only sites, we're going to shave 1 million of that off a day. Just that alone.
Enemies, and more than that, giving our enemies the money so that they can jack up their coal plants to give us the lithium batteries, and then we end up in...
Is that how? I didn't realize coal plants make lithium.
Inhaling the air that is being infiltrated by these coal plants, and in
the air that is being infiltrated by coal plants.
And China is the only place we can go for the critical raw material that we need for the electric batteries.
No, that's horseshit and lunacy. Not at all.
This is a destruction of America. This is a crime against America.
You mean your statement? Sure.
Katie.
I just heard what you said, and I don't know anything, so I'm just going to take it as truth and pitch it to Kat next to me, who will further what you're saying with just as much, if not more, ignorance.
Great idea, because you know that I'm very pro-environment. The idea of a green nuclear weapon, so it kills everybody, but all the trees are saved. What do you make of that?
I mean,
that would be a bioweapon.
I think the climate people would like that idea. They would. It's easy to laugh at something like this because it is so idiotic and moronic, but it's...
Well, you mean what Janine was just saying, right?
Very, very dangerous. The Energy Secretary should be working to get the Pentagon more energy that they need to keep us safe around the world.
They have plenty.
This is a suicide mission, and it shows that people in Washington, D.C., who are all concerned about academic theory, are focused on all of the wrong things. Tell me we're going to plug a Humvee in or a tank in Syria when you're...
Well, tell me how you get in a place like Syria is a great example. What is there a lot of besides land and distance in Syria? Sunlight. What is there? What is difficult to get? Refined fuel. It has to be trucked in. It must be brought in elsewhere. Now, let's say you have, because we have them in submarines, we have micronuclear. When we build a base someplace, we put a micronuclear reactor under that that's minor, again, just like ones in submarines, in a military base. And then all the vehicles are charged out of that thing. Now, anybody who's ever been in a Humvee knows that it is entirely possible you can drive a Humvee far beyond its range and run out of fucking gas. Especially if you have to cover a lot of territory and back up and go again and blah, 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 blah. The same would be true of an electric vehicle. If the range is generally the same, the only difference is that if you had this micronuclear device, like a thorium reactor that doesn't make a weaponizable, doesn't have weaponizable waste, and you could bury it under the facility, and it's not putting off radiation that would harm anybody on the base, it could be right there, and then you eliminate one thing that's very important. The trucks that have to bring fuel in to supply the vehicles, that's gone. So all of those lives, those soldiers, they're no longer in danger. If you have the range necessary, the same range that a gas vehicle would have, but electric, and you have a thorium reactor, or you're able to pull off the electrical grid off of the surrounding area, as opposed to a fuel line, which can be exploded a lot easier, you could charge those vehicles and they could continue to fight. Has anybody ever watched fucking Mad Max? Nobody? When you have, one of the great things about having your little fortress is that you're safe until you run out of fuel.
Fighting against ISIS or in Iraq or Afghanistan.
Again, very sunny areas. I'm just saying, as solar panels get better and they're always part of the structure, you get me? Because I'll tell you one thing that an electric vehicle can do that a gas vehicle can't do is that when it's stranded someplace, because it's run out of fuel, with the electric vehicle, you can unfold solar panels and charge it, at least partially. You can make some fuel. You can never fucking make fuel on your own for an internal combustion engine. Ever. Just saying.
Let's compare this to China, who's building nuclear silos, who's going to have
nuclear silos, yes. And those rockets certainly aren't electric, obviously.
a lot more of those by the year 2025.
So what? You do realize our nukes and our missiles and our missile defense systems aren't going to be electric, right?
They're building a new Navy, and we have the Energy Secretary
because their old one sucks.
Concerned about going.
By the way, our subs are electric, right? They run on nuclear energy, producing electricity. They electric turbines. That's why they're super fucking quiet too. Here's the other thing: an electric Humvee versus a gas Humvee. Which one do you think the enemy can hear coming from a mile away? I'm just throwing that out there. Again, we're not even talking about this shit. We're talking about commute vehicles on military bases inside, on civil air bases and shit like that.
Green and changing everything to electric vehicles. And the bottom line is this makes the military's job harder.
No, it doesn't actually. Again, if you're talking about being able to have micronuclear, every base has a power system like a submarine would, and we have fail safes to protect it and blah blah blah, just like we do our fuel dumps anywhere, because it's always a danger. And by the way, it's harder to blow a micro reactor up because it would be buried underground, and even if you hit it, it's not going to trigger a reaction like a nuclear bomb. You have to actually split something. It's not that kind of thing. And even the fallout from a thorium reactor is different from, and never mind. And the point is, it's safer. And certainly, again, you don't have soldiers that have to drive out of the base, go get some fucking oil or gas, and bring it back. That's over. And again, their vehicles are all but silent. All the things that make an electric vehicle fucking dangerous in commuter settings, because you can hit somebody and they don't even hear you coming around the corner because you're electric. Yeah, in the military, that's kind of good.
It makes it more difficult for the men and women who put on the uniform and go to very dangerous places so that those people don't come here to attack them.
Why does it make it more dangerous?
Americans. It makes their job more difficult.
How?
So instead of making that harder for them and putting them in even more danger by saying, hey, ISIS or whoever the enemy may be, can you just wait for an hour while I try and recharge this? I'm sure the enemy will just hold off.
First of all, the military will have swapping batteries. I'm just saying for the fucking record. which will fuel up more than likely faster than gasoline vehicles. Secondly, you're always driving around on flammable liquid in these vehicles all the fucking time. It's a trade-off. It's a 1-for-1 as far as their experience.
While they're recharging their battery.
Or, hey, what happens if you run out of gas? I guess we're walking.
They should be making it
You can't unfold a fucking solar panel and recharge an internal combustion engine.
easier for warfighters to get the job done, not harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
People will get killed as a result.
And how do you think the grid is doing over there? I mean, we should be.
There
able to
is
just
no
plug-
grid.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
literally no grid.
All right. Hey, Sean Hannity. There's literally no grid. Right. You think there are any gas stations, you dumb son of a bitch? Ugh, it gets so tiresome. It does. But for the record, hold on one second. Keep going further back. I've opened so many fucking links this time. We're well over time. If I may, I'm gonna say good night to our lovely audience. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Those of you that are helping us. Cindy, thank you so much. Appreciate it. My mom just texted me. That's good. I was wondering who that was. Aircraft carriers carry 5,000 men. All the power comes from a reactor. It's all electric. Exactly. And one of the only things that they have to worry about is carrying the fuel for the planes, because that's how they run. And by the way, let's just say that you have to keep it that way. The rest of it, however much you can run on the reactor, eliminates how much physical fuel you have to fucking use. Remember, one of the reasons why our Navy is light years ahead of China's is because all their fucking engines are diesel. They have limited range. They don't have a single boat that can go 500 miles offshore without having to be refueled. You could literally, our military could literally encircle Chinese ships until they run out of fuel. The Chinese Navy cannot do that with ours. Can't. I don't understand how these motherfuckers think. And again, if you want the planes to be able to have enough fuel, and you want to make sure there's enough fuel for them to land and take off and land and take off and land and take off, then you want the entire ship, everything else about it, to be able to run off the electric current that comes from the reactor, from the turbine that is run by the reactor. The same thing is true everywhere else. So that you can maximize the fuel you absolutely need to continue fighting the war. Yeah, there is no fucking grid, and there is no fucking fuel either. Who the fuck did they think drives these trucks full of? Look, if you're shitting yourself, and rightly so, about driving over an IED in a vehicle, in a Humvee or something like that, imagine how you feel if you're driving a fuel truck, for fuck's sake. God damn, these people are stupid. Ugh. And again, they're not even talking about fighting vehicles. But you don't think we're going to at some point? You don't think we're having super micro nuclear at some point for airplanes? It's decades away, but it's coming. Fuck is wrong with these idiots? Ugh. Anyways, I love you guys. I got to do a radio show in the morning, so I'm going to bug out and go feed the fam. And then thank you guys for your support and your love and being with me all week, even through the shuffle of Phil not being here Wednesday and then coming on and whatever. Anyway, wait a minute. It's Thursday. I'm fine. I know I got a show tomorrow. Morning show and then Friday. I'm getting a day ahead of myself. Shit. Morning show tomorrow. See you guys early. I knew I had something in the morning and it was a show. All right. At the same time, by the way, both of them. So anyways, love you guys. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And tomorrow in the morning show, I am going to do some micro clips. Normally we just do the trends, but there have been a couple of videos of Marianne that have come up lately that I'm like, I kind of have to address. Because fucking hell. It's just brutal. Anyways. I can't, why this, don't I, it's just, one of the things is that Siri.